Hello, welcome to Scalemodeling and welcome to part 16 of our 1/200 scale Yamato Battleship build. And in this video, we've got some guns to build. Quite a lot of guns to build. But to start off, we've got 6. So, first of all, if you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the notifications bell, give us a thumbs up. If you've got any comments, please comment below. I need some tips, advice, and inspiration. All right, so let's get into this. Right, what we got to do is put 6 of these guns together. These are type 89 12.7 centimeter 40 caliber anti-aircraft guns. How do I know that? Because I have the anatomy of a ship, Yamato, and there's some really good photographs in there on that, which I will show you shortly. But at the moment, I'll just put up step 84, which is what we're on to. I'll put that up in the top corner. And that shows what we need to do to build these. Now, each gun, fortunately, is on its own sprue. All right, they're all on the U sprue. So that's handy. Don't go hunting around for too many parts. There will be some photo etch to go on these as well. But also, as an extra, I have the brass barrels for these guns. Now, when I bought the deck through 3D Wild, it included barrels for these guns and many others, including the main turrets. So, I've had a quick look, and yeah, I'm going to put them on because they look a bit better. They look a bit better, more to scale. So, I'll be... As you can see with these ones here, I'll be cutting those off and replacing them with the metal ones. Okay. All right, and we also need this H sprue. All the photo etch for these on the H sprue. So the plan is, what I'm going to do is I'll build up one of these guns on camera, video that, and then I'll do all the rest off camera. No point watching me do it 6 times. And then we'll move on down to the lower part of those instructions, 84, which go to another lot of guns, which we've got to make 6 of. But we'll get to that. So, yeah, let me get sorted out here. I'll get one prepared on here, ready to put together with all the parts, and then we'll put it all together. Okay, be back shortly. Okay, hello, welcome back. So let's get one of these 40 caliber anti-aircraft guns put together. Like I said, I'm just going to show you one. Now, to be honest with you guys, I've already put 2 of them together just as practice because these are much more complicated than I expected. So I needed a couple of practice ones before I did it on camera. So let's get on with this. So basically we get our pieces. As I said, the individual sprues for all the plastic parts we need. So we've got the base that comes off here. We've got the actual, what would you call this? The main structure of it here. Okay. Now, as always, we move that aside so too much glare. It's a bit better. See here. So we'll trim these off, the nubs off. That we'll just sand that down a little bit. That's all it takes. Just like that. That's good. Yep. Same with these. I can tell you that the first one I did took me over an hour. The instructions are pretty bad. They're really not clear on a certain part that we'll get to on photo etch. Okay. On mine I found there's a lot of excess plastic here that you need to get all this stuff trimmed down. This all sits flat against the base, which has a grate on it, sort of. Yeah, you'll see what I mean in a sec. So just get that trimmed up. That looks like it'll be fine. So the idea is this will fit there like that. Okay, that's how it goes on. There's a location on the top of the base, it sits there. Now, the instructions will tell you to glue that on there now. Don't do that, all right, because under here, we need to put a support. All right, there's a support brace that goes underneath. So with our photo edge, take this and we get that support piece off, which is, and another good thing is that all of them are on the same piece of photo edge. But I have two separate ones. I have one specifically for photo edge. So this is piece number 17. And we'll just take this off. Off there. That. Off there. There. So yeah, there's that piece. Okay. Just make sure we got that. It's good. All right. So for this, we just need to bend that. Where the joins are like that. Bend this side up. Like that. All right. So that support will go. Make sure this is positioned exactly there. It's very awkward to hold too, the way it is. Now, this will go in underneath. And the reason I said don't glue it down first is because you need that little bit of leeway to get this underneath properly. All right. Once that's in under there, like that, then I can straighten these up a little bit. That's about it. It's a little bit fiddly. I'm sorry if my hands get in the way. Can't do much about that. But that's it there. All right. Now, once that is held in position, right, that's good. So now we grab our instant set glue and make sure that's down solid. Yep. Just touch that in there. Let that glue in there. So I'll just hold that for about 10 seconds. We've still got to glue in that photo etch. This won't be any good for that. We need to use our good CA glue here, which I'll use for the moment on a strip here. Get all this ready. That's looking pretty good. It's all sitting there flat. It's got to be. There we go. All that down in position. That's it. Great. So now we get a bit of the CA glue. There. A little applicator. This one here. And we're going to drop that down in there. The Icky Sticky medium CA glue is all you really need. It just runs into those gaps perfectly. Straighten those up where we want them. That's fine. That's down. I'll just get a little bit more in the bottom there. And you just let that, what's the word for it? It just sort of seeps in under there. Done. All right. Put that out of the way so I don't put my palm of my hand do it like I do, or my arm. Okay. That's that bit done. Good. Now we move down the step and we need the piece that sits over here, flat piece of photo etch on the side that has all the detail on it. And that will be this piece here, number 12. So I'll grab my photo etch one. literally just take this piece off like this. It is. Peel the plastic back and let it drop off. No, I didn't quite get that, did I? Missed one. Top one here. That's it. Seems like I missed a wall. There we go. Come off now? No? Looking that might be time to put a new blade in that. Okay, so there's that. Now again, where that nubs are, just want to trim that off. That's all it takes, just a quick like that, and that's fine. It's good. Really nice detail on that. So this will go onto there, and for that, let's just do a quick test fit. And there we go. It's exactly where we want it to go. Now for this, I use a different glue again. I use my MiniArt glue, which is also a photo etch glue. Same glue I use for doing windows. And the idea with this is just get a toothpick, just smear it around there. Reason being is it gives it time for it to dry while you're still moving it around. Okay, you can position it easily. So we simply pop that onto there like that. Make sure it's square. It's right up on the edge like it should be. And that's looking good, I think. Just pop down a little bit. Just there. That's good. That's fine. I'm not going to touch it. Don't. Yeah, when it comes to photo etch, minimal touching. When you think it's right, don't touch it. Okay, so that I'll put that aside as we let that dry. Okay, that'll be fine. We don't need that. Put that away. The next part we need to get is the actual gun section here. So we'll just cut this off. And it's always been difficult to get this off because it's right up close and it's a really thick connection on the sprue. There we go. You've got to be careful not to leave a dent in here, you know. So there we go. We just trim that bit of plastic off there. Get that nice and smooth. Both sides. That's it. There we go. Yeah. Looks good. You'll see it's got these two little pins on either side that will go into its position on here. But at the moment we need like this little gear piece, which is number 5 here. I'm just going to whip that off. Again, right on the edge. There we go. And again, clean up the parts so we get a good fit. And now this, there's a little slot between the two barrels there where that's going to slide and sit exactly like that. Okay, and that's what you would do now. But because I'm putting on these brass barrels, this does stick out and it's going to get in the way when I cut these off and clean up the ends there and drilling the holes for the barrels. So I leave that off for a second. It's the other way. And what I will do now is cut the barrels off. So we just come in and snip, snip, done. Put them aside. Who knows, you may need them later for something. I don't know, but I put them aside. And then tidy up the ends here, get them nice and smooth. Very carefully get your knife across. First, like I always get the excess off with the blade first. And once that's done, I'll come along with like the sanding files. These are tapered glass ones from Icky Sticky. Brilliant for this. And it's just a matter of running it across like that. And it's done. Alright. So now we have to drill some holes. Now I'm using the Icky Sticky tungsten micro drill bit set, and I'm using a 0.3 mil, make that 0.4 mil drill, and we just want to get 2 of these holes straight in, and these are really nice, really sharp drill bits, so there's going to be no problem drilling these in, and we only need to go in a very small amount, so just push that in like that, take it back out, see it, let the plastic hairs come out, we'll just give it another touch. That's one. We'll do the next one there. Take back out. And just make sure that hole's cleared. Beautiful. So with those holes done, they'll probably be too small, but there they are. We grab our 2 new barrels. Come on, be good to me. There you go. So there you go. This 1, 2. Just a bit of excess brass on the end there, just comes off with your finger. No problem at all. There it is. Right, and we test fit, very important test fit of these. There's one, and there's the other one. Boom, there's where they'll go, no problem. All right, but I won't put them in yet. In fact, they will be the very last things I will put on, because they need to go in and they need to be straightened and lined up, just so they look just right. So it's the last thing we put on. So we'll put them aside. As for this, now that we've done that and put all that, now we can put this little gear mechanism, which basically controls the up and down, if that's the technical word, of the whole thing. So that's that. Glue just a touch into there. And make sure it's all lined up and straight, which it should be, and it is. Done. I'll put that aside. Right. Just checking the instructions now. Right. So with the, I have the barrel. Where did I put that? Sorry. Not doing things right. Here we go. Now we need this part. Okay, this is the top of the anti-aircraft gun. So we'll take that off. 1, 2. Go. And again, clean up the excess on there. Nice. Good. There we go. Perfect. All right. So now this piece, just checking. I think I got that off a little bit too early. Yeah, that can wait. The instructions sort of go right, left to right, but then the second line down is after we put that mechanism on here. All right. Then you've got to go to the left, back to the left, where we're actually installing this. onto this. Okay, so this is all dry enough to handle now. So this is the front here. All right, there's a little notch in there, which is where that positions. Remembering the front, there's where your barrels were. There's a little notch in the side there where that's going to sit, like in there, like that. Okay, and that's going to sit like that. That's where we want that to go. Now, there's another piece to come off here, which is the other side for the other notch to go into. And it's on here, it's the last piece on the sprue. It's going to go, take that off. That's that. And again, small as it is, I want to make it, trim that just right, any excess off. Perfect. Now this is where it gets a little bit tricky, where you've got to hold this and without gluing it, that's the hard part, is get that other notch through the hole like I just did, position that down into there like that. There it is. Okay, so that's where you want that to go. Get a touch of our glue in there. That's it there. Make sure it's seated in there properly. That's what we need. Okay, it looks good. That looks good. All right. Happy with that. All right, we'll let that dry. See, so that's the support for there, and there's where your guns will be facing out that way. We'll let that dry. Now, we need to do the seat. And at first, I didn't know what this was. If you look at that instructions up there in the corner, it's in that description there where it's labeled as Photo Etch H17. All right. And the image looks nothing like the piece. All right. So what we want to do is, I said 19, did I? It's H17, it's H19, right? So we get our sprue, there it is down on here. So we want to peel back our plastic, this. See what I'm doing. There we go. 19. Now I will come back. Right now I'm going to go change this blade for something sharp because you really need a sharp blade. There's some very fine parts on that. So I'll be back in a second. I'll just put a new blade on here. Okay, fresh blade. So there's a tiny, and you've got to be careful. There's the top there. Another attachment point there, another one there, one more here, and one over there, which this way, like this. Now what you heard then was that little click. That was the tip of the blade breaking, and that's fine. That's what I want. I want that. It's the weakest point. You don't need that very tip, so it's still works fine, trust me. So now let's get this up. There it is, there's our piece, all right? Now, I can't get any closer with the camera to how small this is, all right? But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 folds on this. There's 2, I might be able to put this on a black surface, maybe that would help. If I put it on here, just put that out of the way. I wonder if you can see that better there. Take that away. How's that? Probably not, but anyway. I need to bend it on here anyway, so it's not going to help. So yes, there's 5 bends. Now the one that's the extension, so there's an extension that goes inside the artillery gun and comes out and then the seats at the top of that. That is really, really weak. If you bend it 3 or more times, it will break. Okay, so I accidentally bent it the wrong way, right? So I bent it back and then realized I had it the right way in the first place and bent it back and it broke. And it is really hard to get that piece back into position and glue it back on. It is that small. So don't bend it more than twice. Try and bend it the right way the first time. That's my advice. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll use my ruler to hold these down and then use the razor blade to bend up that side. Okay, then I need to bend up the other side over there, which is basically you're creating the seat that the operator sits in. It's going to go like, now I can't bend that, can I? Oh, almost made a mistake. I need to bend that up. Okay, I got this. I'll hold it that way. Like that. I know this is a bit hard for you guys to see, but there's really no other way. There we go, got that up. Now I need to bend a bit more like that. This piece comes up here like that. Push that a little bit further, that's fine. Now, that single piece, if you can possibly see it, has 2 bends, and it's basically to go around the shape of the seat there. So the top part of it, what I do is I bend it just a little bit on the joint so that when I press the rest of it down, it will automatically go into the position I want it to. Hopefully, all right, hopefully. So, go like that. And believe me, if you can't see this, neither can I. It is that tiny. But we've got it. That's gone down well. It's like that. Make sure it's sitting firm. I think we got it there. Yep. That's it. Just bend that in a bit. Good. Now, there's this piece here that I was talking about that's just in the process of bending, it's bent up by itself. So I've knocked that somehow, but it's fine. It's fine because this will be the second bend now, which I have to bend it down. So that's going to go like that. Okay. Now we take our artillery gun here and it's going to sit in there like that. All right, and be up. It's more light. There we go. It's going to go in there and glue right there like that. Okay. So what I need to do now is a fresh bit of glue like that. Move these things out of the way. And hold this the way I want it to be, like that. We need to touch the glue in there, like that. And then into position, like that pretty much. Hold it for a few seconds, there it is. That looks good. Okay, okay, can you see that? That's what I mean by that piece is so flexible, so delicate. It's holding the whole thing up. That's it. All right, so that seat is done. We still have to do another one on the other side, but there's a bit more room to work here. And we do that later on in the steps. So that's good. That went well. Thank God I practiced twice beforehand. Moving on to the next section. Let me just check where we are. All right, so we need to hold this like this. This goes on here. There's two little location pins, and they will go where it goes into there, like that. That's pretty much it there. If I can get it to sit in there. I'm being careful because I don't want it to knock that photo etch seat that I've just installed. Yeah, that's it there, because these arms, if you can see, that come out the side actually go to the back of that photo etch that I just put on. See? There we go, that's it there. All right, let's get that glued on. Go. Right, touch in there, touch it there, that should be all it needs. A bit of pressure on the top, let that glue soak all the way through. Good. And that's it. Now this seat can be just positioned a little bit there. That's better. There we go. That looks fine. All right, that's on. Now, the next step is there's a photo etch cover that sits over the top of that. So we'll put that down. Get our sheet of photo etch. Okay, there's the cover there that we want. Just take that off. Much better when you got a new blade on. Much, much better. That's that. And there's little bits of nubs on there. I know these particular bits that are still on here are not going to have an effect on the fit of this, but it's a good habit to do it anyway, because you'll come across plenty of photo etch where they've got to butt up against the plastic, and that will cause a gap and put everything right out. All right, so this has a bend line under here and these little oval shapes that sit over the tops of those bits there. So it's simply just our ruler there and boom, bend that up, and then this should pop onto there quite easily. Again, lids on, out of the way, don't bump, so they won't get bumped. For this I'm going to use my Migamo glue. We'll do a test fit first. Drop it into place. That's it. That's it. That's going to sit right there like that. So again, we grab our glue, smear it all around on here. Don't have to be too fussy with it. It is going to dry completely clear. So that's going to go on there. Pop this back. Make sure it's on perfectly. Done. There it is. That's on there. I'll let that dry. It's literally about just 5 minutes, and that's dry enough to be able to move it around. It's not going to literally fall off. All right. So that's on. Now we need to do the other chair on this side. Okay. So we go back to our photo etch, and we want the piece which is number 18. There it is there. And we take it off extremely carefully. Like this. across there like that. And there we go, beautiful. And bending this the same way we did the last one. The only difference is that it's the reverse direction. But all the lines are on there, and we need to put it on. So I'll just go ahead and bend this. I'll come back when it's done. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, I bent it into shape. I was just starting to put it on before I realized I hadn't turned the camera on. So there it is there. I'm just gluing it in place. Extra bit of glue down on there. There. That's it. And there we go. So there's the two seats on either side. Looks good. Okay. So now I'll just move some stuff out of the way here. And what we got to do now is put those barrels on, I think. Oh, of course. And there's a ladder. There's a tiny little ladder to go down there. So there it is here. I'll take this off. We'll put it on. Again, it's extremely small. There he is. We'll, bend the ends of those where it sits over the area where they climb up to. It's on. This is where I usually use a bit of, this here is my blue tack. So what I can do is put in the blue tack and hold it in the position I want. And then come over to here, a little bit more glue, like that. And we want the ladder to sit just on the bottom of here. So we can pick it up from here, touch it in the glue. There it is. And that's where we want the ladder to sit there. Done. Make sure it's straight. There we go. Ladder's on. Again, very careful where you handle these parts now, because there's lots of photo etch in every direction. All right, now we can put the barrels on. But first I want to let that ladder dry. Just give it a minute, and then we'll position our barrels in here. All right, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, we should be good. Okay, now again, we'll just do a test fit again. Barrel's going to go in there like that. Ugh, drop one, found it. Okay, we know this will be fine. So get some glue on the end. There's our barrel. Position that in there. Looks good. The other barrel. There. Line them up. Make sure there's level. Which they are. And that's it. Looks good. Now, unfortunately, that one didn't go straight. Need to bend that over a bit more. That's better. Much better. There we go. Happy with that. That's done. So that's it. That's our gun done. I've got two more to do. We need to build 5 of these. But come up all right, hey? I'll put a couple of pictures up in the corner here so you can see bit closer of how it looks, and it's all good. So I'll get on with the rest of them, and I'll be back shortly. Hey, welcome back. So I thought I'd just show you some of the detail from the anatomy of a ship with the Yamato. Trying to get the glare off. These are the guns we're currently building. All right, these are the 40 caliber anti-aircraft guns, and you can see the detail obviously in the drawings here are really good, but so is the detail of the parts I'm putting together from the kit, even with the photo etch. So even by putting these on, which was the seat there, shows you how it connects onto there, as I was showing before. The details in the side plate here, which you have in that photo etch piece. Now, of course, you don't have all the steps on the side in that much detail. They don't come as photo etch. But I think the Pontos extra detail kit would have those. But there's our barrels. It looks really good. There's the seat, so you can see how that's positioned. There's another good view of it there. Without this, it would have been almost impossible to work out from the instructions what that's supposed to look like. We've also got the drawings here as well. All the different profiles, rear elevation, left profile, front elevation, the whole lot. So very handy, okay? And just for reference, the next gun we'll be building will be this 40 caliber anti-aircraft gun here. That's a type 89 12.7 centimeter. That will be the next gun we build. All right, so yeah, definitely very good investment. Get yourself a copy of this. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to keep going on these. I've still got the 2 more to build, and we'll come back and have a look at them. Back shortly. Okay, welcome back. So there they are, all 6 of them. I think I mentioned 5 before, but I actually meant to do 6. So there they are. There's the 40 caliber anti-aircraft guns done. So they will get put aside, and we'll move down to the next part of step 84, which is the next lot of guns. And they are 40 caliber, I think, 40 caliber anti-aircraft guns, type 89. All right, so they look quite a lot easier than what they were to put together. Let me just bring up the anatomy of a ship, and we'll have a look at what they look like. Back in a sec. Okay, so there's some nice illustrations of what these look like. We've got to build 6 of these, and they look quite good. Fingers crossed, be a little less time consuming as what they were. And there's a bit of railing on there. Yeah, there's a little bit of photo etch railing is all I can see on there, and possibly some photo etch that goes in on here too. There. But, and we've also got the brass barrels for these as well, so we'll be replacing those. All right, let me go get the sprues together, and we'll get onto these. Be back in a sec. Okay, so we've got 6 of these sprues, in which case we need just these pieces. There's one already off there, so that's that. We need the D sprue for the photo etch. There's 4 of them, so we've got those for all the photo etch parts. It's not too many, just some railing and a few other bits. And the rest is on the L sprue, which is this one here. We've got platforms there. The guns are here, looks like, and some other little bits. All good. So what I'll do is I'll take off, we've got to make 6 of these, so I'll take off the parts I need for 1, and we'll go through the process of putting 1 together. And this time I should be able to do it with the first one, because it doesn't look too complicated. And we'll come back and do that. All right, back in a sec. Okay, welcome back. So here's all our parts we need. We've got our barrels, we've got this, this, and these two, and these two. So, going by the instructions, first of all, we need to get this piece and put a couple of bits of photo etch in there, which are these two pieces. So, what I'm going to do is, using this, I'm going to try this for the rolling, get that bend happening. Just see how we go with this. Just push it down, go like that. Pretty much, I think that'll do. Let's have a go. The tweeze is gone. Here we go. Pop that on there and see how that fits. Ah, look at that. Perfect. Do the same with this one. Paint it like that. Hit it. Yeah, that one's good too. Excellent. All right, so I shall glue that down with my MIG-AMO glue, which we've got here. And I'll use another toothpick, fresh one. And that away. Make sure you can see. So we can, yeah, that's good. So we'll take that back off, put that there. Take that one off, put it here. And just touch the glue into there. That's all it needs. And pop it back like that. There we go. So far, so good. Now, the next step is, now I've already trimmed these up and tidied them up, cleaned them up, is this, which needs, it goes on here. And what I might do is I'll bring this across because the hole in there is useful. I'll be able to sit that there, so that got be able to sit flat. This we need to put in here, and these two on either side to hold it. But of course, we need to get rid of these barrels and replace them with these. So chop them off. 1, 2. Away. And I'll just clean up the ends of these. That's good. And I put my drill away, haven't I? So I've got to get that back out. There's our drill bits. I'm guessing they will be about the same size I used before. I'm going to go with, actually, I'll just be careful. I'll go smaller one first. Okay. Yeah, and we'll drill these in here. That's pretty much going to go like there. Should be enough. I'll just do a quick test fit. Yeah, that was too small. Okay, so we'll go the next size up. I'd rather go too small than too big because it's always fix that. Go now for the record, that is 0.5 mil. Okay. There. Whoa, what happened then? Ha, I broke it, didn't I? Oh, just my luck. Okay. Get that out. Let's see if that was the size we wanted to test fit. I did get it in a little bit. it does seem as though we could go bigger. So fortunately for me, I need a larger drill bit than that. Let's go up to this one. Let's be a bit more careful this time. No braking. Try that size. Sorry if I might have been doing that off camera. Yeah, these are quite a lot larger. And it does look like even that's going to be too small. So let me get my other drill bit sizes out. I'll be back in a second. Okay, so unfortunately, a piece of metal of that drill bit is still inside that hole there, but I've managed to open it up wide enough at the top here to still be able to get the barrel in there. That should be okay. So that was unfortunate, but I can't get that bit of metal out that's in there. So I've just pushed it even further through, and it's okay now. All right, so what we'll do now is, yeah, I guess we'll put the barrels on now, I suppose. Let me just check. Again, maybe it's something I might leave until the end, because these barrels have to come through here, don't they? Just check. Barrels got to come out here like that. Yeah. And actually, it looks like they won't fit. That'll go on that way. It's going to go like that. Something like that. So, interesting. Okay. I just need to check with the barrels I took off. Where did I put those? Hope I didn't throw them away, did I? No, I knew I should have made one first and then shown you the second one after I'd done a practice run. Yeah, I don't know where. Oh, there they are. There's one. So I just need to check. Yeah, it fits. Okay. No problem. All right, I will put this one together and then we'll come back and I'll do one after I've got one done correctly. All right, because I don't want to mess this up. All right, I'll be back shortly. Okay, welcome back, guys. So I got the first one finally done. So much for thinking this was easy. Wasn't quite. If only I hadn't broken the drill bit inside that hole. That's what put things out quite a bit. Because the next barrel that I put in there wouldn't go in straight, and it put a little bit off center, so I had to re-straighten it to get it to fit. But turned out it's okay. It's all good. I got it. So yeah, no problem. It's a little different the way it goes together, but once it does, we have a good result. So I've got one done. I'm just going to do the next 5, get them all done, and then we'll come back and have a look at them when they're done, eh? Okay, I shall be back. Probably in my time, it's probably going to take me about an hour. No rush. For you, about 2 seconds. Okay, back in 2 seconds. Okay, welcome back, and I just thought I'd point out a few things while I'm putting these extra 5 together. For some reason, the holes in these here, one is smaller than the other. yet the barrels on the original plastic are the same length, are the same width, which means they don't, which makes it difficult because they don't, one side won't slide down all the way. Even with the brass barrels on there, these holes, just that one side on every piece here is just a little bit smaller. So what I had to do was drill them out. So I just matched a drill bit to the larger hole and drilled out the other one so it matched. And now it slides all the way down. The other thing I've noticed is that these parts here, if you can see, these and this one's longer than that one. I thought, oh, well, that's just probably a fault in one of them, but no, it's in all of them. This side's longer than that one, which means that when it comes down and sits flush onto here, it doesn't fit square. There's a gap. Okay, so there's not much I can do about that other than when I'm fitting it like this one that I've just glued in place, I'll put the barrels in, slide this down as far as it will go, and then put some CA glue in there to hold it in that position and make sure that everything is completely straight along here before you actually glue it in position. Now they will still rotate up and down a little bit. All right, if you don't let the glue touch the rotating points, they will go up and down, but they won't once they're connected, once they're thread through here. Okay, so this now is going to go in here like that, and then that should fit in here, which is like the last one I found, a bit of a tight fit. And because it's that tight fit, yeah, they go up and down, but you know, you want to make sure you've got them in the position where you want them and leave them that way. They're a bit tight, especially when you get this glued in properly. Okay, so I just thought I'd point that out. Just make sure they're in the position you want, up or down or wherever, and should be good to go. But yeah, a little bit of a fit issue there. I don't know if anyone else has that problem with these. Yeah, there's nothing else I could figure it out. I mean, both barrels are the same on the original plastic, so there's no reason why one should be longer and shorter and one hole smaller and larger. Anyway, problem fixed. I'll get on to this. I'll keep going, and we'll get back and have a look at them when they're all done. Okay, back in a sec. Okay, welcome back. So there they are, all complete with the railings on them. Looking good. And all 6 of them, and they're all ready for paint. In fact, there's our black primer, Outlaw Paints black primer. That's going to look great. And what I'm thinking of doing is, while I paint them, I might as well do those as well. So that will complete step 84. Now step 85 is just putting these all on, which we're not going to do because, like I said, I've got to paint them yet, not just in primer, but they've got to be painted to grey as well. The next step, 86, is going to be a tricky or time-consuming one. I'll just put it up there in the corner. So the so it's lots of the little AA guns. From what I can see, even though the instructions say make 10T8, yes, misspelt, it's 28. Yeah, so we've got 28 of these, complete with photo etch. So that's going to be fun. So that will be in the next video, and so will be the painting of these. I'll put the black primer on them now, and then in the next video, which will be part 17, I'll bring them out at the start and we'll have a look at how they are, and then I guess they'll be ready to put the grey on by then as well. So we'll get all these parts all completely finished up in the next video, as well as making a start on the smaller little anti-aircraft guns. Okay. All right. So thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for your comments and all your tips and suggestions that I get in all these videos. It's been great. I've had things like people reminding me, oh, the top of the mast is actually black, and something I'd sort of skipped ahead and not realised, and a couple other little bits and pieces. But yeah, just all those little things. Thanks a lot for everybody who's commenting on the videos. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and give us a thumbs up so that YouTube's happy that people are happy watching my video, and they let more people watch my video and be happy. That's the plan. And fantastic. So, all right, thanks a lot, guys, and I'll catch us all in the next video, which will be part 17. Okay, bye for now. Cheers all.